How does a superpower lose control of a war? Not to an army, not to a weapon, but to a path. Not a highway, not a fortified supply line, just a network of narrow trails hidden beneath jungle canopies and mountain fog. To American planners, it was known as the Ho Chi Minh Trail. To those who built and maintained it, it was simply a lifeline. This is not a story about battles or firepower. It is a story about geography, persistence, and adaptation, about how a seemingly primitive system challenged the limits of modern military power. Because sometimes history turns not on explosions, but on endurance. The Ho Chi Minh Trail was never a single road. It was a vast, evolving network of paths, river crossings, jungle tracks, and mountain routes, stretching thousands of kilometers across Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. From above, it looked fragmented, disconnected, almost accidental. But on the ground, it functioned as a coordinated logistical system built piece by piece, year after year. Supplies moved slowly, often by foot, sometimes by bicycle, sometimes by river. Nothing about the trail suggested speed or modernity, and that was precisely its strength. It blended into the landscape, becoming almost indistinguishable from the jungle itself. Wars are not won by weapons alone. They are sustained by logistics, food, medicine, equipment, replacements. Without a steady flow of supplies, even the strongest force weakens over time. The Ho Chi Minh Trail served as the backbone of that flow. It connected distant regions. It allowed operations to continue. It kept momentum alive. Cut the trail, and everything downstream would struggle. That was the theory, but theory does not always survive contact with terrain. The trail ran through some of the most difficult terrain in Southeast Asia. Dense tropical forests, steep mountains, unpredictable weather. From the air, visibility was limited. From the ground, movement was slow and exhausting. What seemed like obstacles became advantages. The jungle concealed movement. The mountains broke lines of sight. Rain erased tracks and softened footprints. Technology struggled to dominate a landscape that refused to be simplified. The environment itself became part of the strategy. One of the greatest strengths of the Ho Chi Minh Trail was flexibility. When a route was damaged, another appeared. When conditions changed, paths shifted. Nothing remained fixed for long. There were no permanent lines to defend, no single point whose loss meant collapse. This adaptability forced constant reaction, and reaction is expensive. Each adjustment required time. Each disruption demanded resources. The system endured not by resisting pressure, but by absorbing it.
Advanced surveillance, air power, and detection technologies were deployed in an attempt to stop the flow. From a distance, it seemed overwhelming. But controlling airspace is not the same as controlling ground. And identifying movement is not the same as stopping it. The scale of the terrain made permanent control nearly impossible. Political boundaries added further constraints. Every decision carried diplomatic weight. Power had limits, and those limits were exposed slowly over time. The Ho Chi Minh Trail did not defeat a superpower by force. It did something quieter. It denied certainty. It stretched timelines.
it drained resources. In asymmetric conflict, survival itself can be strategic success. The trail became a symbol of endurance, of how determination, geography, and patience can reshape outcomes. It was not efficient, it was not elegant, but it was persistent, and persistence changes history. Today, the jungle has grown back over many of those paths. From above, little remains to mark where history once moved, step by step. But the lesson endures. Power does not always win through strength. Sometimes it is challenged by resilience, sometimes by terrain, sometimes by time. The Ho Chi Minh Trail reminds us that wars are not only decided on battlefields, but along quiet paths hidden from view, where endurance matters more than force. A mountain path did not conquer a superpower, but it revealed the limits of power itself. And that, too, changed the course of history.